Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're tackling a massive, incredibly relevant topic: how social media algorithms are secretly and honestly, sometimes dangerously influencing our relationship with food. It's kind of fascinating and a little bit alarming to realize that in an age where we have literally all the world's knowledge right in our pockets, we're also carrying around a machine perfectly designed to tell us exactly what our bodies should look like and what we should be eating. So today, we're going to break down exactly how these tech traps work, and more importantly, how we can outsmart them to build a healthier, far more joyful relationship with our bodies and our brains.
I want you to just think about this for a second. Have you ever fallen down a rabbit hole of diet videos online? You absolutely know the ones. Maybe you're just casually scrolling and suddenly, boom, your entire feed is taken over by these highly edited what I eat in a day montages set to trendy music, or intense detox challenges that promise these magical quick fixes. It's incredibly relatable. You click on just one video out of pure curiosity, and before you know it, those messages are everywhere. It's important to validate this because, well, it happens to almost all of us. But here's the catch. These trends, they're rarely created by actual experts, and they heavily impact how we view our own self-worth. Section 1. The social media algorithm trap. Let's move to and see how this builds, because to truly understand how our feeds get so completely saturated with these diet trends, we've got to look at the invisible engine driving the whole thing, the algorithm. The absolutely critical thing to know here is that algorithms are completely blind to who is actually watching. They don't distinguish between a fully grown adult and a vulnerable teenager whose brain and body are still developing. Their only goal, literally their absolute sole metric of success, is capturing and holding your attention. And it's a deceptively simple three-step loop. Step 1. A flashy video about some fast weight loss secret grabs your focus. Step 2. The app registers that engagement and just feeds you more of the exact same content. And Step 3. A filter bubble forms. Suddenly, you're trapped in this algorithmic loop, totally isolated from balanced information and surrounded entirely by restrictive diet messaging. For young, curious minds, this happens with zero oversight, creating this skewed reality where extreme content feels like the absolute norm. Section 2. Diet culture's hidden dangers. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it perfectly contrasts the algorithmic lie with the scientific truth. We really need to explore the real-world fallout here, because these tech traps have a profound psychological and physical impact on growing bodies. The problem isn't just the food being shown, it's the underlying toxic message that a body's value is purely aesthetic, and that totally natural feelings like hunger should be ignored. The algorithm loves to push this dangerous myth that skipping meals makes you disciplined. It tries to tie your personal strength and self-worth to severe restriction. But the scientific fact, our brains are inherently hungry organs. They need a steady, consistent supply of fuel. This is absolutely crucial for kids and teens in a critical phase of skeletal and neurological growth. Skipping meals doesn't make you disciplined at all. It literally deprives your brain of the energy it needs to focus, to learn, and to keep your mood stabilized. Section 3. What is intuitive eating? So, to fight back against this algorithmic control, we need to shift the narrative toward empowerment. We're talking about the ultimate rebellion here. Instead of relying on some stranger on the internet to tell us what to eat, we're going to look at an evidence-based framework that reconnects us to our own biology. It's called intuitive eating, developed by clinical dietitians Evelyn Treble and Elise Reich. Intuitive eating is basically the belief that every single one of us is born with an innate, internal system perfectly capable of recognizing when we're hungry, when we're full, and when we're satisfied. Social media diet rules actively damage this internal compass. Intuitive eating repairs it. So instead of asking, what should I eat to look good according to the internet, we start asking, how does my body feel right now, and what does it actually need to feel its best? Section 4. Fueling brains and gut health. So the crucial point is how we actually put this into practice. We need to completely reframe food as essential, vibrant energy rather than a stressful metric for weight. And this brings us to the microbiome. I want you to think of your digestive system as housing a hidden internal garden, or what we can call a gut squad. This squad is made up of trillions of helpful bacteria. The science on this is just mind-blowing. Our gut actually acts like a second brain. It communicates directly with the brain in our head through a massive complex neural network. That means the health of our gut squad directly impacts our mental focus, our immune system, and our overall mood. And when we look at the foods your gut squad absolutely loves, notice something? There is zero mention of restrictive calorie counting. None. Instead, it's all about feeding that internal garden. We've got our fiber friends like fruits, veggies, and whole grains. These literally act as fertilizer for the good bacteria. We have rainbow power, which encourages a big diversity of colorful foods so you get a wider range of antioxidants. And, of course, our hydration heroes, like water. When we start viewing food as a way to nourish this incredible internal ecosystem, eating suddenly becomes this awesome act of curiosity and care, not restriction and fear. Now, that level of care requires a consistent daily rhythm. Like we said, a well-fed, hungry brain requires a steady supply of energy. In the morning, you're fueling up the brain for the day's learning. Midday, you keep that rhythm going to sustain your energy. In the afternoon, you recharge your focus, and in the evening, you finally allow your body to rest and digest. Skipping steps in this rhythm, which, let's face it, is usually driven by those diet trends we talked about, leads directly to mood crashes, mental fatigue, and a lack of concentration. Actually, scratch that. It often gets mistakenly labeled as laziness, when really it's just a brain begging for fuel. Energy in, energy out. Keep the rhythm going.
Section 5. Building critical media literacy. And this brilliantly illustrates our next point. We've covered the biology, sure, but we still have to live in a digital world, right? So we need defensive strategies to break out of that filter bubble. One of the absolute best tools we have is the Who Benefits detective game. The next time a flashy nutrition video pops up on your feed, I want you to pause and ask yourself, is this person a real credentialed expert or just an influencer with a ring light? Are they secretly trying to sell a supplement or a workout program? And crucially, would this highly specific advice actually work for every single body type out there? Teaching ourselves to think critically like this is literally the ultimate shield against online marketing. But you know, media literacy doesn't just happen on our screens. It happens right in our homes. Here are some actionable household habits we can all use to dismantle the algorithm's influence offline. First up, cancel bad food language. Food doesn't have a moral value. It's not good or evil. Second, celebrate diverse bodies naturally. People come in different shapes, kind of like they have different eye colors. It's just a fact of life. Third, provide regular, balanced meals without forcing anyone to clean their plate. And finally, discuss digital content openly. Don't just silently ban apps, watch the content together, and practice that detective game we just talked about. If there is one single thing I want you to take away from all of this today, it's this. Your worth was never about a number. Bodies come in every shape, just like the amazing things they can do. True self-worth is built through your character, your humor, your skills, your kindness, and your courage. It is completely 100% separate from your appearance, your body size, or whatever arbitrary aesthetic happens to be trending in the algorithm today. So, what does this all mean for you? The algorithms are powerful, for sure. But your choices are so much more powerful. How are you going to change your feed today to protect your mind and fuel your body? Will you finally unfollow that account that constantly makes you question your worth? Will you choose to listen to your own internal hunger cues instead of some digital rulebook? You have the tools now to practice intuitive eating, to trust your amazing body, and to break completely free from the algorithmic trap. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I seriously encourage you to take back control of your feed today.